Hey,
Hey, what's up?
we're
How
here.
you doing?
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. It's time for your weekly dose of PCP.
It's been a full week.
It has been a full week.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened.
Some things, indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably nothing that nobody cares about.
Yep. But if you're here, we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Well, a little break from the nonsense.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nonsense, and sometimes you just need to immerse yourself in TV and
Well,
video
immerse
games.
yourself in nonsense that doesn't matter
Exactly. That's where
Right.
nonsense should be
in the realm of things that don't matter.
in fiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
You right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be, and then common sense was lost.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it used to be. Common sense.
You're right. Now it's Common Core.
Ugh.
Whoa.
I could talk about that, but I don't want to.
Hello, Rhonda Werner.
I don't want to bore people out of their minds, the ins and outs of Common Core and why I think it got a bad rap to start out with. But
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to talk about that.
yeah,
I don't want to
let's-
talk about that.
No, let's talk about movies and video games and
Yeah.
stuff.
Lots of things have been happening in the pop culture world.
Indeed. As always, though, I think we like to start with, what have you been watching, what have you been playing lately?
So something I haven't had much of lately is free time because I have 2 kids and I still might not have a lot of free time, but I found a little bit of time to play a game called Untitled. Are you familiar?
No, I've never even heard of it.
2D-ish, 2.5D, 2D roguelike pixel art. I'm about an hour into it, playing it in between. So I was playing it this afternoon for about 20 minutes, in between holding my 3-month-old daughter and changing my 2-year-old's diaper. And I had 20 minutes, and that was it. And it's a really good game. It's based on like a dystopian future. Automatons come to life.
Okay.
This sci-fi
Sure.
storyboard.
Absolutely.
But the gimmick in this game is that all of the characters, including yourself, have a time limit. So your merchants, all of your NPCs, they run on I can't think of what the word is, but the
Batteries.
yeah, essentially. And they run out eventually, and then they're gone for that playthrough forever.
Interesting.
You have the option, you collect this stuff called meteor dust, and you
Mhm.
can give that to them to increase their lifespan.
Mhm.
However, that's limited, or you can use it on yourself. So there's a
Right.
little bit of dichotomy in that choice too,
Sure.
which is
Absolutely.
kind of exciting. I like it so far. Like I said, I'm about an hour
Do you
into
know
it.
who makes it? Or
It's the Humble
Humble
Games
Bundle?
is who
Okay. Yeah, they've made some good stuff. I have a Humble.
I don't want to say I don't know
subscription.
that they developed it, but they certainly published it.
Yeah, they're good. I like the people at Humble.
The review that most made sense to me, just looking at Reddit for this game Unsighted, is that it's hard enough to be a challenge, but just fair enough to hook you in to go for more. And that's spot on. That's where I'm at. I've died quite a few times. I'm not a gamer like I used to be.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh man, I'm so bad at stuff now.
Yeah, if you stop at all,
I just don't. Well, and so I brought up my daughters because I couldn't play this game holding my 3-month-old because it's too twitchy.
yeah, that means you're not good at games.
Or I'm just not good at being a dad. So it's one of those. Or both.
Sure.
But yeah, I just set my daughter down because I was getting like too into it.
Oh, sure.
I'm like, come on.
It's just meh.
So game is called Unsighted. It's on, I believe it's on every kind of platform. It came out a little while ago, late 2021,
okay.
September or so.
Oh, that's pretty recent.
Yeah, I don't know if it's developed or just published by Humble Games. But
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're.
there is no physical copy. It's only on the eStore.
Right, that makes sense.
Which is kind of unfortunate.
We'll see if I think some of the Humble games have gone through like limited run.
Yeah, some of them have gone through first press games.
Okay. Yep.
But it was on sale on PlayStation. I think it was like $15.
Okay.
Which is probably the most I've spent for a video game in years.
Whoa.
So,
look at you big spender.
Yeah. Well, I spent about $40 on the PlayStation sale.
Okay.
I got
Which one was this? The under 20?
I think so. I just
yeah.
look at all the deals, but I got that, and I got a handful of other games, so I'll be talking about those in the next coming weeks.
I know they got a new sale today. It's the Critics' Choice sale.
Yeah. Well, Sony's making moves, but before we get into that,
we'll get to that.
But that's what I've been playing. As far as what I've been watching, I want to talk about one show, or rather a movie really quick. It's called The House on Netflix. Yep. I've also probably watched Encanto another 17 times this week.
That's The House, right?
Yeah. Well, Casita.
Yeah, that's Casita.
Yeah. So I didn't understand quite in Encanto too. Just a little sidebar.
Yeah.
I had a lot of questions at the end. And mind you, I've watched this because of my 2-year-old about 100 times. That's not an exaggeration.
Well, we don't talk about Bruno. It's number 1 on the charts now.
I believe it. I mean, the song's catchy as hell.
Oh, absolutely. No.
But so I had a lot of questions, and I guess I never really watched to the very, very end of this movie. So they lose their gift, right? Their Encanto.
Yeah, during the climax.
And I was like, well, if, essentially because of Mirabel there, the main girl character, you've got Antonio, the little boy on top of the leopard.
It looks like a leopard.
I can't tell.
Yeah, it's got spots.
On top of the leopard, he gets his gift, midway through the movie. He comes of age and he gets his gift. Well, his gift is that he can talk to animals. Did he just, I thought that he just lost his gift then. Like they were done, right? They lost their gift. So he had it for like a week, not even. Yeah. And then it's over. Wouldn't you be embittered by that?
Oh, like really, really spiteful toward Mirabel?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so it's the implication is that after Mirabel puts the door handle back on the new casita.
Yeah. They get all their powers back.
They get their powers back. I don't know that if I just never watched that part or I was off in La La Land when my daughter was humming the song. So I was like, well, like, wouldn't you be mad? Like, I'd be mad.
Oh, sure. Like the shapeshifter guy would probably be like,
so it doesn't show him doing anything afterwards, but it does show like Luisa, the strong one, is strong
some
again.
Of them, I feel like were probably relieved. Like the hearing girl.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. So all of a sudden, you don't have to, you don't hear everything that everyone is saying around you. Might be kind of nice, but then all of a sudden it comes back. So I think you've got both sides of it. But anyways, I guess they get their powers back. I wasn't aware of this until I watched the movie. I mean, it took me 100 times to figure this out, but I had so many questions about that. And I'm like, oh, they're just not going to address that at all. Well, it turns out they did. I was so comatose at that point while I was watching the movie with my 2-year-old for the 100th time. I didn't see that part. I saw that part. Questions are answered.
Yeah. Well, you know what my problem with that movie is? There's like one scene that really bothers me, and it's been bothering me since I've seen that movie.
All right, tell me about it, then I'll tell you what I watched.
Okay, yeah. The scene where the hearing girl overhears Mirabel and her dad.
Yes.
And then like she has to like watch her during dinner because is the hearing girl just like this crazy fucking gossip? Do you know the bit I'm talking about?
Well, so that's implied because they're like, well, if anybody would know what's going on, she would know.
Yeah.
Just because she hears things?
Yeah. And like they have to like sit there and stare at her so that she doesn't ruin the dinner. Like, bitch, hold it in during dinner at least.
Right.
Can't you just take her aside and be like, hey, can we just keep this under wraps at least until after this dinner thing and take care of this? Like, what the fuck is wrong with this hearing girl?
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
really bugged me.
Well, and then at the very end, of course, they include the line in the last reprisal song that she heard Bruno the whole time.
Yeah, so she's not a gossip in that case.
You're right. Why didn't she just tell Mirabel?
Like Bruno's right there.
Yeah, he's like behind that painting over there.
He watches us during dinner.
Go get some questions answered. But we don't talk about Bruno, but all we do is talk about Bruno.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, shifting from Casita to The House.
Yes.
So The House is a movie that just came out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Is that the Will Ferrell movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't know anybody in here. I'll read the list of actors. It's so it's animated. It's stop motion.
Okay.
Animation. Do you remember Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah.
Very similar This
like
is
Wes Anderson House or Isle of Dogs
yeah,
type.
it's more realistic than that though.
Okay.
It's less jarring, I guess. The sets look very real.
Mhm.
However, the characters do not.
Interesting.
But it all works because you can tell it's all stop motion.
Mhm.
So it looks like it's built with real things. Anyhow, some of the actors in it: Mia Goth, Claudie Blakely, Matthew Good, Mark Heap, Miranda Richardson, Stephanie Cole, Jarvis Cocker, excuse me, Disney Rascal, Will Sharp, Paul Kay, Susan Wakama, Helena Carter. Yep. I don't know any
Helena
of them.
Bonham Carter?
Yes.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I recognize that one.
Really? That's the one.
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter's been in a ton of shit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one.
She was Tim Burton's wife. So like she was in like every Tim Burton movie.
She looks like Tim Burton's wife.
Yeah. Did you see the Alice in Wonderland? She was the queen.
That's exactly what I just recognized her from.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
she's been in a ton of things.
This movie came out January 14th, 2022. It's about an hour and a half long, stop motion, bizarre. It's the most bizarre thing I've watched.
Well, Helena Bonham Carter's in it. She was the chick in Fight Club.
So it's an anthology series story. And each story is about a half an hour, giving it a runtime of 90 minutes. And it simply focuses on Latinx. Yes, we are. Afghanistanimation.
What?
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful, but why is it Afghanistanimation, Jose?
I don't know. I really I liked it. And actually it's what hooked me in on the show. I don't know that I would have watched or cared about any of this story if this wasn't animated in this way. So each little story is a half an hour long. The only thing that they have in common is this really bizarre house. And it's not bizarre in the construction or anything like that. It's just weird things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Bordering from like weird to creepy.
Okay. What's this movie rated?
So it's rated TVMA.
Interesting.
Only for language.
Okay.
There's an F-bomb.
Uh-huh.
And there's a written F-bomb.
Interesting.
There's half a F and half a sh.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. And then I think they say damn a handful of times.
Interesting.
Right. So
is it an English production or like an American production?
No, it's well, yeah, it's English, but it came from the UK.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
So not really.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
All I can say is go and watch it. It's worth watching.
Very interesting.
And the best part is what I actually cut it up into two different watches.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up watching the first story and then I shut it off and it fades to black and then puts, 1, 2, 3, and then the title of that part across the screen. Just go and watch it. I'm curious to know what people think. I want to know if I'm the only one that thinks this is. I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's creepy as hell in a lot of parts, and then it's equally interesting.
Yeah, it sounds weird and cool, and I'm all about that. I love stop motion. I think that's what, like.
Yeah, that's what sold me on it. Well, honestly, I started watching it late at night a few nights ago, thinking that after my daughter got out of the bath, it would be something that we could watch. Definitely not something like kids are going to be scared by this.
Oh, sure.
But it's not Tim Burton creepy.
I was going to say, is it like Coraline?
No. It's actually not creepy at all. There's no like sci-fi-ness to it or occultness.
Weird. Okay.
It's
all right.
just,
you know what?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any more.
Nope.
I'm just going to go in. I'm interested. Super Troopers. That is a Super Troopers reference. Okay. I got you, Jose. I got you. I get your references.
The screenplay was by Enda Walsh.
I don't know who that is.
An Irish playwright. And the only reason I say that is because on Wikipedia, it's the only hyperlink that was available based on the producers and the directors.
Interesting.
So it's called The House on Netflix. If you still have a Netflix account.
Yeah.
So, but okay. I actually had things to talk about when you asked me that question today. So now I got to ask you, anything you've been?
So yes, I haven't really been watching too much, I don't think. I've continued Ranking of Kings,
Okay.
which is still really good, really watchable. I don't know, like it's just good. Not much more to add on that. But I've been in a gaming mood.
Okay.
I've been in a gaming mindset. And so I finished Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, you were playing this the other day when I came over.
Yeah, and really solid. There's a really solid open world. Collecting things and like taking down robots and
Craftathon.
yep, a lot of crafting. And I really like. I waited for since I didn't play it. When it came out, I played it only this year.
Yeah.
All the DLC and stuff. Like there's this whole extra expansion.
Frozen Wilds. Right?
Frozen Wilds, yeah. And Frozen Wild, the way the Frozen Wilds works is just like they just added it to the map.
Oh,
like you could just go
great,
go to that area. And so I did as soon as it was open. It said like recommended level like 30 or something, and I was like 20.
Yeah,
and I was like, fuck it. And I just went into it. And I did everything in that area and got like all the best like post game like weapons and shit. Like there's a flamethrower and like just stuff. And so then I went back to the main campaign and just fucking annihilated it. Like those weapons are the way that they figured like, oh, most people probably do this after since it came out after the main game. But no, I did it where I got all these crazy things. It was just fucking great. I love doing that.
What did it take you to play through it? Like 10 hours?
No, I actually put I think 30 hours into it.
Oh wow.
Because I also did the Frozen Wilds, which was probably almost 10 hours in and of itself of just extra stuff.
Seems to be what Sony's DLCs are.
Yeah.
About half game.
Yeah. And that was great. It was
cool.
Perfect. It was just enough.
But the new one's coming out, right?
Yes. And I will not play it at launch because that's in 2 weeks and I'm Horizoned out.
Yeah, I would be too.
And I think I'll probably wait like a year, see if they release some expansion or whatever.
Well, they definitely will.
And then just do the same shit again.
I have so many backlogged things to play that I'm not playing the newest and new.
There's no reason to.
No. I mean, unless something really catches my eye. But
so, segue.
Oh, yeah?
I'm actually playing the newest of new.
What's the newest of new? Oh, Jesus.
Pokemon.
So, can I tell you, before you get into what you want to say about this,
ahead.
I saw a screenshot of the open world in this, and it looks like it was made on Unity in 2012.
Yep.
Oh, okay, great.
The graphics are garbage. Straight up dog shit.
Is there a button here somewhere?
But it's so much fucking fun.
Oh, okay.
It is
it's
the
a Pokemon
best
game.
No, because I'm tired of Pokemon games.
Oh, sure.
I think we've talked about this before, where I was like really about done with Game Freak. I was like, man, I really wish, because like, man, they were just not doing anything with that formula except watering it down.
Right.
Like looking at like the last mainline entries, like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield and all those, they were so like safe and watered down and easy. And like, I think we had talked about how like everyone in those games is like super happy all the time. Like there's just no negative feelings about anything ever.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
like,
yeah, you can't even say smell you later anymore.
Right. I was gonna say they got rid of the mean rival.
Yeah. Now you just have like a,
and everyone when you beat them was like, oh, you won, you're so good.
Yeah.
It's
not even like a sympathetic antagonist.
Right.
It's like a guy that you like that you fight against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst was I think Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
His name was like How, and he was just all the time like, cool your shit, How. But that brings me to Pokemon Legends Arceus, or actually Arceus, I think is that's the pronunciation.
It will always be Arceus.
That's what I've always said. That's the problem with these text games. Who knows how these things are actually supposed to be pronounced.
I'm pretty sure in the movie they say
Suicune, Suicide, whatever.
Suicide.
Yeah, whatever that the water dog. Anyway, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I fucking love it.
Okay.
It's incredible. Okay. I love it, but there are still my biggest problems with it are all these just little like quality of life things. Like the menus are a little clunky, and like traveling from area to area is not as smooth as it should be. And like like I keep hitting the wrong button to access the Pokédex. Because the way you do it is down on the D-pad, and I just cannot for the life of me remember that that's what the button is.
Yeah.
But the moment-to-moment gameplay is so good. Like the way they reworked catching Pokemon and stuff is incredible. Like, so they put you in this, the world, right? You start off in this sort of hub village. So what, actually, let me start with the setting. It takes place 1,000 years before any of the other Pokemon games.
Oh, okay. Thousand years, huh?
Yeah, it might be 100 something.
Sure.
Yeah, but it takes place in the past.
A stupid amount of time.
A stupid amount of time in the past.
Okay.
So, you know how in the Pokemon games it always starts with like Professor Oak or Elm or whoever being like, we live in a world with Pokemon. Yeah. They're our friends.
Is this just Professor Tree?
Professor Tree. Yeah. So Professor Tree says, well, they're our friends. We love Pokemon. In this game, that hasn't happened yet. Like people are like, no, man, Pokemon are dangerous. They will attack you.
Oh, cool.
Don't go near them.
Like wild animals. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, a Rapidash burned down my village. It's like, what?
Oh, okay.
Cool. What the fuck did you just say? Yeah, my cousin touched a Pikachu. He was paralyzed for a week.
Oh shit.
It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. So you get brought to this, you fall out of the sky, I guess. Like you're from present day.
Pokeboy. Yeah.
And you fall out of the sky, and Professor Tree of the past finds you and is like, hey, what's your deal? What's going on with you? Want to help me catch Pokemon?
Naturally.
And you do. And then he's like, you're pretty good at that. Let me take you back to the village. But everyone in the village is like super like they're like, who's this outsider? What's he doing here? Because I guess like the clans have been at like war.
Sure.
There's all this like lore and shit. And it's like, oh, it's like interesting. And
my mind conglomerated village with like Resident Evil. And like I put Pokemon and Resident Evil together in that.
The way the village kind of looks, it's not that far off.
Okay.
Except it's more Japanese.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Think like a small Japanese village. But all the people are like, we don't trust this outsider. Why are you bringing him here? And so there's actual like not everyone loves you. Like there's actual like characterization, and like even the main guy like who runs like he's not called the mayor, he's called like the warden or something.
Of course.
He's like, all right, like we'll let you stay here, but you have to prove your worth. If you don't, we will send you back out to the wilds where you will die. They say where you will die.
Great.
And I'm like, oh, cool. Fucking stakes in this Pokemon game.
Did you ever die?
I have.
Okay. Do you die?
No, you black out.
But did you die?
No, you black out.
Of course.
But so, because Pokemon will attack you.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they're just in the overworld.
Well, yeah, that's like every other Pokemon game.
No, it used to be you'd be in the grass, and yeah. Where you see them, and if they see you, some of them will attack you.
Oh,
some of them won't. They all have their like Bidoofs are like they don't care. They're just
of course not.
They don't, so catching them is super easy. You just sort of throw a Pokeball at them, and they're good. But other ones, either like ones that will run away or ones that will attack you, you can sneak up behind. Like you can hide in the tall grass.
Oh yeah,
and sneak up behind them and throw a Pokeball and catch them.
Huh.
And it's great. Or if they see you and they start attacking you, you could throw out a Pokemon and like battle them and then catch them, and during that battle. Or if you know, like you're not going to be like, if it's a big Pokemon that you're not going to be able to catch by just throwing a Pokeball at it, you can sneak up behind them and throw your Pokemon out and get like 2 attacks in before to get the heads up on them. And it's all like just that amount of like
Yeah.
strategy and like stuff. You craft Pokeballs,
Huh.
like with materials you find in the world.
Huh.
Which is really interesting. And there's like all different types you can depending on the materials you get.
Okay.
Which I'm all about. I'm 100% in on this.
So I will say I've seen a little bit of gameplay of it, and I mean the graphics look horrendous.
They're garbage. They're inexcusable. I get that.
But the actual gameplay of it, and I don't know because I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, it looks enjoyable. I don't know. Different, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But something, at least interesting in the realm of Pokemon that really hasn't been attempted since like Pokemon Coliseum.
Right.
Which was GameCube era 2003 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. This is the game we've wanted ever since like console Pokemon.
Okay.
I think.
Even more so than like not Hey You
Let's Go. Yeah.
Hey You
also
Pikachu.
Hey You Pikachu. Absolutely.
Oh damn, I have that still with the little N64 thing.
Oh, the mic,
the little yellow microphone.
Hell yeah.
Thing. Oh yeah, it didn't work at all. No. I was like screaming at my N64 controller, like Pikachu.
Pika.
Didn't work.
I even like that they got rid of he doesn't say Pikachu anymore.
Oh, what's he say?
He's a whatever, the Pokemon noises.
Yeah. It's not just, they don't just repeat their name over and over and over
again.
Yeah,
no, they actually but they all have their own sound.
No, okay. Arceus is not. Arceus was what, 3rd generation Pokemon? 4th generation Pokemon.
Yeah, Diamond and Pearl.
So I have a couple questions about this game. One, looking at this picture right here.
Yeah.
If it's 1,000 years before the other games in Pokemon are basically like all about evolution.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Are there any so
evolution means a different thing in Pokemon?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. But I'm playing dumb.
Uh-huh.
Why haven't they evolved yet, man? But
it's not the same
Pikachu still looks the same.
It's not the same Pikachu.
Oh, I thought there was only one Pikachu.
Yeah.
No, that's what they used to
Pokemans.
That's what they used to call my uncle back in high school.
Pikachu?
Yeah.
Nice.
He'd hide in the girls' locker room.
Yeah.
So to be dumb about it, that is my question. Like, are there any differences? Is there like ancient Rhyhorn?
Yeah, there are some.
Like, cool.
Arcanine looks really cool.
Ancient Arcana.
Yeah.
Arcane Arcana.
There's instead of a steel Scyther evolution, it's a rock Scyther evolution.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun okay. There's an evolution for you remember Ursaring, the bear? Yeah. There's a new bear, and I love him, Ursaluna.
Okay,
he's one of my favorites.
That's interesting. See, my extensive knowledge of Pokemon ends at Generation 2. So after Gold Silver era, man, right. 250 is. That's why I had to look up what number Arceus was.
It's like 4.
Yeah, 4 something. But for some reason I thought he was Generation 2, but he's not. Generation 2 is the dogs.
You could
Heart Gold,
Silver, because that was Generation 4 when those came out.
Right. But yeah, it looks interesting. I won't play it, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't have a Switch. And this isn't going to make me buy a Switch. If it was Knock Me Down great, and it was everything that they've been trying to make for a Pokemon game for 20 years, I would buy it. But it's enough that the graphics look like my computer from 2005 could run them.
Yeah.
Well, that I won't there's fan-made games that look better than this, that play better than this.
Probably.
What the hell?
I get that, but I don't know. Something about the way it plays. I love this. There's side quests.
Okay.
You talk to people in the village, and then you can go catch a specific Pokemon, or the Pokédex. The way it works is you don't just catch a Pokemon and it fills out automatically. You have to do specific tasks with that Pokemon to get all the entries and stuff.
That's interesting. Is it Is it kindergarten though?
What?
Is it so basic that it's like use your Rhyhorn in battle?
I mean, I don't know. Like the like you have to use specific moves in a specific way against specific things.
So it's like a checklist-a-thon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It works though. I like it.
I think I would like it. I'm just so unimpressed by Game Freak that
Which I get. And so here's my takeaway, I guess. It's so much fun. I just hope that they take like the good parts and make it better.
So Pokemon Legends 2?
Yeah. If Pokemon Legends 2 looks the same as this, then that's inexcusable.
Yeah. Why did they call it Pokemon Legends Arceus and not just Pokemon Legends?
That is a good point. I wonder if it's I guess so that they have the Pokemon Legends line of games now.
Yeah, but then what are they going to do?
I assume I will say in Pokemon lore, anything besides Arceus is a step down.
Right. Well, no, and I get that. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here?
I don't know. I don't know. I hope actually, you know what I want? I want just all of these like good mechanics put into like the main line.
Yeah.
Pokemon games. And then also make it just like better.
You know what I get for my fill of Pokemon? And I went through this phase a few years ago. There's a bunch of good ROM hacks of, the third generation Pokemon games.
Sure.
That are just astronomically better than anything Game Freak's done in the past 15 years.
Oh, I believe it.
With the exception of maybe Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah.
I really think that's where they topped out.
I will say, one of the things I was going to say is this is the best Pokemon game since Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Okay.
Like far and away.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Far and
especially the 3DS Pokemon games. Oh, man.
They were so disappointing.
Yeah. They really were.
Yeah. But like
how many Pokemon are there now? 1,000?
I want to say 800 something.
Oh my god.
But I will say, so I've played this. It came out on Friday.
Yeah.
It arrived on Saturday when I ordered it. And since then I've put 8 hours into it and caught 100 Pokemon.
Oh my.
Yeah, like I'm in it. I'm in it to win it.
That's a good catch clip.
Yeah, I like it.
Interesting.
It's just very.
That's cool. You'll have to tell me how you feel about it afterwards.
That's true. Like right now, I'm still pretty early.
Let it marinate for a little bit.
Yeah. But first impressions, I was like, oh shit. Like just something about the world and like it is also like different enough where I was like, oh, this isn't like familiar. This is nice. What's happening here?
Man, I can't get over the screenshot and the little bit of gameplay that I've seen of what those hills look like.
In motion, as I'm playing it, I don't like notice it anymore.
I guess
that's I'm not excusing the graphics. The graphics are bad.
Well, and you're a graphics guy too, along with a sound guy. I could care less about a lot of that stuff as long as the gameplay has got to be the number one thing for me in any game. However, man, they looked bad. I can't get past it.
I really think they should have like just like art styled more.
Yeah.
Like really like gone like stylish.
Yeah, like give me cell shaded.
Yeah.
Cell shaded. I don't need hyper realistic when I'm playing a Pokemon game.
I think they could have done more with that.
Yeah. I also will never admit out loud that I'm playing a Pokemon game.
I don't care.
That's true.
Who gives a fuck?
You know what's funny? I was listening to somebody talk about that, and they go like, Pokemon hasn't fallen off, and like it's been this force for almost 30 years now, which is crazy. 25 years or so. There was a time.
There are like the third generation. I feel like.
Yeah, early Game Boy Advance, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald was like you could get Pokemon in Pokemon cards for next to nothing.
100%.
Stuff bottomed out. And I remember my dad saying that, shouldn't have got all those, of course they were going to be worth nothing. I got a couple base Charizards.
Yeah.
Like a few of them still left. They're going for several $100.
100%.
Oh. Yeah.
The Pokemon craze is going strong.
But yeah, no, like to say that it never fell off was I think is to not put it completely accurately. But it is big now. Yeah, it has come back around. The new generation has come back. Well, you got kids that grew up with it that are having kids like me.
Right. Well, the
So-
kids that are growing up with it are now just old enough to be nostalgic and also have disposable income.
Yeah, and that's always what it is. And that's why you started to see muscle cars of the 70s start to kind of taper off. Because nobody cares about them that are that's an overstatement, obviously, but the generation previous to us were kids.
Mhm.
And then when they got older, oh man, those cars started to just skyrocket in price.
Oh, sure.
And now they've kind of tapered off.
What, you think reaching the 80s point, 80s, 90s cars?
No, because those cars are garbage.
Right.
That's why those cars, but even some of those cars, like what is it? Like early 90s Mazda RX-7 with the rotary engines. They're stupid fast. Basically tube chassis cars. They're stupid money. There's a there are a handful, but it's not going to be like it was before with, the late 60s muscle cars, early 70s. Nobody cares about the late 70s cars because of the oil crisis. All the K cars that came out are all junk. There are a couple here and there, but yeah, so it's, each generation has its things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know anybody that cares about G.I. Joes? I don't.
No.
That was huge for a while. Even Barbies. Like, I don't know anybody.
There is a G.I. Joe collectible market. Like some of that stuff is getting nuts.
No, sure. But it's not that it's getting nuts. It got nuts, and now it's like it's just there. It's just that's
true.
Price. Who knows where Pokemon will end?
Who knows?
If we'll see another kind of dip. I don't know. It's interesting to see. I can't believe it's still around. Every now and then I remind myself of certain things of my childhood that have fallen off. And there's a lot more that have fallen off that rather than that are still popular, like Pokemon. Remember Metabots?
No.
Barely. Right. I'm trying to think. Even like Gundam Wing, there's still a huge market for it, but it's not Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon's a rare entity.
It's because they still, they still get the new generations.
Yeah. Right. That's true. They are still
even if, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Does those come out?
Yeah. Came out in November.
Oh, shit. I care about things.
I didn't even get those.
I didn't like those games when they came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, to be fair, I didn't play those games when they came out because I was just like a senior in high school.
Yes. No nostalgia for those.
No. I have played them since, but they're.
Yeah, I played Platinum, I think.
I played them to know what they were.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was a investigative procedure.
Yeah.
Not anything entertaining wise. But anyways. Speaking of Japan, what do you want to talk about?
I was going to bring up a trailer.
You
asked me to watch.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Are you
so excited, and then I'm not excited.
I gotta be honest. That trailer was kind of generic, I thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
you think it's gonna be groundbreaking? It's Microsoft here.
Do you know the channel Arlnauts on YouTube? They made a video about like blockbuster movie templates.
Okay.
And the trailer for this show fit that template. So we'll watch it before Jose's show. Okay. So perfectly. It was insane. It oh boy, you guys went to trailer school, huh? Like marketing 101.
Paramount and Microsoft, who you think there's a creative bone in that entire marketing division?
They buy their creative bones.
Right. We don't need to be creative. We can just throw money at it. Yeah. They're all of a sudden like 1930s gangsters.
I say.
Why have a creative thought when you can have a money producing thought?
Yes.
Right, I do say.
Yeah.
That's how I know. Okay, so I agree with you on that point. That said, I'm excited by what I saw. I thought it looked good. It looked of a high production quality. Talking about Halo, if anybody's listening and they haven't looked at the picture that they're looking at,
Yeah.
of Master Chief. Talking about the Halo show that's coming out on Paramount Plus. I think it's what, March 25th?
Yes, 25th to 26th.
Yeah. Along there.
End of March.
It looks well produced. A lot of the scenes that they show, and they don't show many that are landscapey scenes. They show a lot of close up, contained closed corridor type shots.
There's a couple of very wide explosion shots.
Of course. Because you're not looking at the background, you're looking at the explosion.
Yeah.
So that's both exciting for me and both a little worrying in the sense that, who knows? It might look good. It might be done well.
There's a couple shots,
but let me give you the big Lizzo here.
The
big but. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with Cortana?
Oh, yeah, that was a little weird.
That's the actress that voices Cortana as well.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So, and I can't think of what her name is.
I'm surprised. I think she looks so different.
It was so jarring that I had to look it up.
Okay, because I was like, oh, she sounds like a Cortana, but
Yep. But it's like it's not blue enough, or it's
there's a lot like I don't know if they cheaped out on the effect or something. There are some shots in this trailer that look jank, I thought. I think something about the Spartan armor just looks
in live action.
In live action looks too chunky. It's just so.
It works as a video game and not as a live action. I've thought that for a long time.
Yeah.
He works. Master Chief, in my opinion, works kind of like a movie, like an Alien, from Ridley Scott's Alien. Absolutely. In that, if you show him very little, it produces the greatest effect, and it's also it doesn't give people the time to nitpick things like that. Sure. Put him in as the main character of a show, which assumedly that's what he is going to be.
From the trailer, that's what it looks like.
Oh man. Yeah. I think it's passable, but I don't know if that's just my fandom speaking.
Yeah. Well, I've always also the assault rifle is another one.
Yeah.
That's so like boxy and chunky.
Yeah. It worked on the original Xbox in 2001.
Right. Yeah, that's why it looks like that.
Right.
Like you guys didn't update that design at all?
Well, they did. They did update that design, and they didn't use the updated design, which
like I feel like the Halo 3 assault rifle isn't as
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one in Halo Reach.
Yeah.
Is redesigned more for it. Yep. I don't understand. Jen Taylor is the actress that plays Cortana, who is going to be reprising the role.
Okay.
And leave it to Reddit, right? So I was I was looking at the Reddit comments because this the Cortana thing is a big deal to people that care about stuff.
Sure.
If you care about things and stuff, you care about Cortana apparently, and you care about Jen Taylor playing Cortana in a live action Halo show. The biggest criticism is that her boobs were too big. In real life to play Cortana in the game. Like, I don't know. Did you not play Halo 4?
I was gonna say Halo 4. My biggest disappointment in Halo Infinite is that her boobs were way smaller.
I mean, Jen Taylor's like 48, give or take. Okay. I think. I don't know, 1973. So yeah, around there.
She better have some big ass MILF titties. I don't like what the fuck are you talking about?
But I couldn't believe it. I thought somebody was joking. They told me this. They go, yeah, look at what Reddit's what they're talking about on Reddit about it. I'm like, okay.
Wait, Reddit has a problem with big ass titties?
We're living in the Matrix.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
There's too big titties.
I don't know if their problem was that the titties were too big. Is that this actress in real life, they didn't suck them in for Cortana. They left her. They basically, it looks like they overlaid.
I am going to watch this show now.
Yeah.
Because I want to see some big Jen Taylor titties.
Yeah. Well, she's almost a half century.
I just knock them MILF titties around. I don't give a fuck.
God. Talking about Halo. Angels, we are not.
No.
But I couldn't believe it. That's the criticism that Reddit has. But at the same time, I absolutely can't believe it. A lot of this show looks good from the trailer. The trailer, again, I have my criticisms with it. My biggest issue with this is that I was reading a story synopsis of what the trailer is supposed to be telling-ish, or what it's supposed to be hinting at. And it's an alternate timeline.
Yes, the silver timeline or something like that.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that's a little
because and this is such a nerd review of this. They spent 343 has now spent so much time reneging some of their past decisions and changing things and making the Halo timeline so that it works. And you kind of have some of that culmination in Halo Infinite.
Sure.
That now it's like you could have just went and changed it all. Because
why didn't you just reboot it at Halo 4?
It's so
Halo 3 finished the fight.
Right. Yeah. They asked me what I was doing, and I told them finishing this fight.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I just don't understand it. And maybe it'll be great, but I hate it a little bit because I want them to either just continue on, like tell me the story tell me the in between Halo 3 and Halo 4, or tell me I know what was in between Halo 3 and Halo 4. He's just floating on the ship.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Give me some like B story. I don't care. I just don't want, because now it's like, oh, well, in the show he did this. Well, in the games he did this.
I wonder if they should have just went with like a different Spartan.
No, you can't. It won't sell.
We
tried that with Halo 5.
Oh
yeah. Locke. Yeah.
Well, I think it would work just fine if it was interesting.
The Michael Strahan of Spartans. Who was that actor that played Locke?
That wasn't Nathan Fillion, was it?
No,
it was one of the other Spartans, I think.
I don't think so. But
he was Buck, I think.
I'm still
from ODST.
Yeah, he was also in Halo 5, right?
Yeah.
I have my reservations about the show. I just don't. Now it's like, oh, nothing else matters, and this is its own thing. And okay, cool. But so this is retelling of, like, this is rebooting Halo essentially. This is starting before like a Halo 1.
Right. The Covenant. They talk about the Covenant. And all that in the trailer.
And so instead of crash landing, they retell the whole origin story. They don't even crash land on a Halo. They just find the Forerunner ruins in a Covenant excavation site. I'm like, that's the whole point. It's called Halo.
Yeah.
No, okay. I mean, I really hope I'm wrong, but I hate that they've changed so much of it. Tell the exact same story as, the Pillar of Autumn, jumping to hyperspace and not knowing where they're jumping to and jumping to Halo. If you're going to tell a different story, but don't make it Halo. Like, just tell it in its own right of something else.
Yeah.
Don't piggyback none of the Halo.
In the trailer, I thought none of the like concepts sounded very like original.
No, and that's why I said it looked good.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was good.
Like they did like the Mass Effect ancient artifacts
right.
Thing that Alex Kurtzman ripped off for I think it was Picard. They did that same plot.
Yeah.
So is Kurtzman involved in this?
I don't know,
because he's Paramount Plus. He's in charge of Star Trek now. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I will watch this. I'm going to be really disappointed if it doesn't all come out on day one, which I know it won't.
I'm waiting until you watch it before I even consider trying a Paramount Plus free trial.
No risk involved, but I can't risk that much.
Well, at least, so I'm going to wait for the season to be over that way I can watch it all in the free trial. Or steal your login.
Yeah, you might as well. There's nothing else on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Though, that's not true because I did just finish. It's actually For Heaven's Sake was the name of that, to harken back a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I watched the documentary For Heaven's Sake.
Oh,
the search for Howard Heaven. It's like a 7-part miniseries show.
If I get my Paramount Plus free trial, I'll watch that.
That was worth watching. But other than that,
I'm not going to get a Paramount Plus subscription just for that.
No, definitely not. Yeah, we'll see. I have so much hope for Halo, and then I equally have zero hope for this show.
Yep. Well, I think this was about as good a segue as any to talk about Bungie.
Yeah, the original creators of the Halo.
Bungie has been bought by PlayStation.
They're such whores.
Who?
Bungie.
Oh, yeah. First, Microsoft.
Yeah.
How did they get out of because I thought Microsoft owned that studio.
I don't know.
How did they stop owning that studio?
Well, I think Bungie bought themselves out with the caveat that Halo would still be owned by Microsoft.
Sure.
And that's why Microsoft spun off 343.
Right.
And I think that what was their initial workforce 20% of the original Bungie studio, something
Probably.
like that. I don't think there's anybody left at 343 that.
Oh, sure. They're
that
probably
went
all
down.
back at
Bungie there. That's probably true. But yeah, first they were Microsoft, Activision, now to Sony.
Yeah.
They gained their independence only to be bought by a bigger corporation. And that said,
it's not a bigger corporation than Microsoft.
No. I mean bigger than themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
So to be bought by these big companies, Bungie, that is.
Yeah.
That said, the comments that Sony bought Bungie, has now bought Bungie for 3.6 billion.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Nowhere near
No
Bethesda or Activision money, though.
That said, Bungie and Sony have both said that essentially Bungie is going to operate as a subsidiary to Sony, meaning that they're going to be completely independent.
That's what they say,
and maybe that'll change down the road, but it's not going to affect exclusivity at all. It's not going to affect the timeline for the current Destiny roadmap. So if you play Destiny, through essentially 2024, you're still okay. That's where they've mapped it out to.
Sure. But that would basically be the case, even if Sony plans on doing the time it takes for these deals to go through. And I'm sure Destiny 2 is under contract with Microsoft and all that. Like I don't think PlayStation could pull it from Destiny 2 from Xbox, even if they wanted to.
Sure. So what I've seen, the benefits for both sides. One, Bungie gets their hand into multimedia representations of their IPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about making movies, TV shows, other stuff. That lore to Destiny, whether you like it or not, is really big and expansive, and they keep expanding on it.
Last I checked, it was very Halo-like.
I think it's significantly better than Halo.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't. It is now.
I was gonna say last time I checked might have been Destiny 1.
But this would also gives Bungie a couple different avenues to explore those realms, and essentially it's just they're like giving Sony a cut. That's what it looks like. Or Sony takes the profits and then pays them out from there. It's like you have a boss now, but only in title.
Right.
For PlayStation's benefit, for Sony, they're talking about how to expand their first party library. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this before, how Sony's first party games are all very samey.
Yeah.
And this gives them something a little bit different. It also expands on their multiplayer.
Yes. This is my thought.
Yeah.
What Sony's going to do with Bungie. They're finally going to make Killzone the Halo killer. than it was always meant to
be. About time.
With Bungie.
Yeah.
Imagine if the next Bungie game is Killzone. I would love it. I would love it so much.
I would reckon, and this is pure speculation, that after 2024, after the roadmap for Destiny 2 essentially expires, you start to see talk of Destiny 3. And they've talked about, so Bungie, when they were independent, truly talked about how essentially they wanted to make Destiny 2 just the platform. A lot of the issue of that is now they've started to vault away a lot of the content. So if you put in Destiny 2 now into your PlayStation, into your Xbox, you can't play the original campaign.
Yeah, which it seems like it's very difficult to jump into Destiny now.
Now, I think you could have about a year ago, and I think that was about the cutoff. That said, I played Destiny from like just a few months after Destiny 2, a few months after release to all up until about the time my first daughter was born. So about 2.5 years ago now. I went into it when I got back into it when my daughter was a couple months old. And I tried, and I had only taken off, and I was playing like every day throughout that stretch. I had taken about 2 to 3 months off, and trying to get back into it, even after 2 months, I was so I was so behind. And I was a good player too. I wasn't the best, but I was updated on everything. I had all of the most recent releases of weapons, of things. I had a good PvP ratio. You know, I had a lot of stuff. And man, even just 2 months, I'm like, oh, I'm outclassed severely. And that really was part of the issue, trying to balance a single player game where you have all these different weapons and items in a PvP scenario as well, that you have all these different weapons, legendary weapons and exotic weapons that are so different. And then you had weapons with different that were the same, but could roll different stats or different buffs, which just made it infinitely crazier. Because you could get a really lucky like SMG that had like I don't even remember what the buffs were called at this point, but you could get a really lucky roll and just be set. And you still had to be a decent player, but it would make so much of a difference.
Sure.
So I have no idea what it would look like now to get into it. All I do know is that you can't play a lot of that original content. And I don't really understand it, other than the fact that I don't even have it installed on my PS2 anymore. But the last time I had, or my PS4, the last time I had it installed, it was 170 gigs. 170 gigabytes just for Destiny 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And that's probably, I didn't have all the content at that point. So I'd be interested to see, I should do it, see what it, if you download it for free, because it's free.
Yeah.
What you get.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because I think at this point it was the Curse of Osiris was the second release. And the next one was the Warmind one, I think. With the sleeper simulant and stuff. But I don't remember what was after that. And so if you can't play any of that, one, you don't have access to a lot of those weapons. Not that you'd want them, but who gives a crap?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Okay, so you wouldn't want them for PvP. Why don't I just want them in the game? Why don't I just want them? Why are you limiting access to anything at all other than potential bandwidth and
I was gonna say
storage?
The size of the game is just getting absurd.
Well, and so that brings me full circle to my point of, I think you'll see a reboot. And by a reboot, I think you'll see a Destiny 3. And you'll just see a content dump. I have high hopes for Destiny. I think they get too big for their britches sometimes.
Bungie?
Yeah.
100%.
I love the lore of it. I love what they turn it into. But man, like
I think that's why Activision was willing to let them out of their contract, because they still had like time left on that.
Oh yeah,
deal.
They bought themselves out.
Yeah. I think Activision was just like, fuck it, we don't want to deal with you anyway.
They're kind of like, with all respect to Microsoft, or not Microsoft, Bungie. They're kind of like the ideologue young congresswoman who, just won't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shut up. Just
they just make a fucking game.
Yeah, like you're not changing the world. You're making a video game.
Like it's dumb sci-fi. Like
yeah, you're basically Halo in space.
I mean, like,
which Halo was already.
I'm sure the lore has changed since, but like I remember like that first Destiny, it was like instead of the Covenant, it was like something else.
The Fallen. Yeah.
The Fallen, and instead of the Flood, it was like the something else.
Yep.
And it was like, you guys are really just making Halo again, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and it even kind of felt like it. Well, and that's why I liked Destiny, because it felt like a good snappy Halo game.
Yeah.
So I could get past
the moment-to-moment gunplay.
Yeah.
Was really solid.
Yeah,
I played a little Destiny 2.
I think better,
but
yeah,
I don't like randomized weapons and like that kind of stuff.
Right,
it really does. Like I hate Borderlands. I could never get into.
Borderlands. I like it because that's basically a strictly PvE game.
Mm-hmm.
Where Destiny, like, you've got too much other player interaction.
I wonder if I would like Borderlands more if I played it co-op. I didn't have anybody
probably,
but it just I don't know. Those like randomized guns, like, oh, it's this one, and you got to constantly check. Like this one does 30 damage more than this one.
That was the shtick for Borderlands 1, which a lot of these lootathons kind of turned into. There was 30 million guns. 30 million in Borderlands 1. And that was the selling point. 30 million guns. In reality, there was a couple hundred that you could there was like 7 different parts. So when a gun was randomized, it had like the stock was different, or the sight was different, and some of them were just like very minutely different. But the combination total was, 97 to the 12th power.
Right.
So, yeah, something stupid like that. 30 million.
I don't know. I never thought the gunplay felt very good in Borderlands.
I think it's better now. I agree, though. I still think Bungie is the king of snappy gunplay.
Yeah, I really liked. I think there was a hand cannon or something in Destiny.
Oh yeah,
that was always my favorite.
Yep,
that's what I like. I like a really nice, powerful, like boom, boom, boom.
And so there's exotic weapons and there's good legendary rolls, and I wish they just did a PvE thing. I just don't want PvP.
Yeah,
I hate how PvP-ish or even like multiplayer against the enemy it is. I hate that you'd have to like load up with random people to run strikes and stuff. And you could get involved with a clan, which in my heyday I was, but man, it was just for somebody that just wants to sit down and play video games. It's why I haven't played it since my kids were born.
Sure.
I'm not interested in doing that.
Well, the only time I like competitive multiplayer, and the last time I really like got into it was probably like Halo Reach, because I like when everybody starts with the same things, and you can find more things on arena shooters.
Yeah,
or you can like find different things on the map, but everyone could go get and so there's like a risk to going and trying to get the energy sword.
Well, it's kind of
because everyone knows where it is,
right? That's the battle royale, the Call of Duty, the Black Ops 4 mentality.
That's true. Which, honestly, in theory, those games sound better to me than, whatever. But I don't.
Well, we played a little bit of Black Ops 4 for a while.
Yeah.
For a minute, and it was fun for a minute. Until you're like, I'm getting headshotted across a map.
Well, Call of Duty, I don't think lends itself because the one-shot kills.
Yeah.
Whereas like Halo, you have a shield.
Yeah.
And so
I need a little bit of forgiveness.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting shot. If you don't know where they are, get behind this wall, sort of thing.
If you're stupid and you run out into a field, you should probably get shot.
Right.
But if I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden I just get taken out. Like, what? Okay, great.
Right.
I'm having fun, aren't you?
Woo!
Yeah. So
yeah, Call of Duty's a little too twitchy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even Bungie in Destiny 2 did a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
That said, there are still some cheese moments.
Yeah. I don't know. Destiny's just not my.
I don't know. So it doesn't look like anything crazy is going to change here with Destiny or with Bungie or with Sony.
Yeah, when I told you to look into it, I literally just read it on my phone at we were at our grandpa's.
Yeah.
Happy 100th.
Oh yeah, century.
Yeah, we had a cream ale with our grandpa.
That's right. Jenny River water.
Yep.
I was gonna say, no, I lost my train of thought.
Okay,
it's gone forever.
Well, it's about that time anyway. So
yeah, it is.
This has been your weekly dose of PCP, I guess.
Just end it.
This is it. No, that's it.
Bye.
You had your train of thought. Now it's gone. Here we go. Bye.
Bye.